Update to a story we told you about last week. Omaha's new soccer stadium is one step closer to becoming a reality. The Omaha City Council unanimously approved the use of $48 million in funding of TIF money for the project. The entire project will cost $330 million. It'll include a soccer stadium, spaces for entertainment, retail, and housing in the Millwork Commons area. That's just north of Charles Schwab Field. Union Omaha tells us they're still waiting on state approval of a turnback tax, which would include an additional $25 million towards the project.
Now,